Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. I'm back on a post-match. Like the video just for that. And also, before we get into it, before I even tell you what the score was, like you don't know already, I want to bring up this very important message. Please help us reach the 20 like target. That is your target for today. My job is to bring you the insight, the views, all that jazz. And your job is to like the video. That's all you need to do. So stay amazing, like the video. Right, United have just about won by 1-0 against Wolves at home. It wasn't the best game. Let's face it. It was quite boring. We were quite poor, but we've won the game. And some people say that winning a game scrappy and winning a game that you don't necessarily deserve to win is stuff for champions. Some people say it. I don't. Some people do. Timmy, is that stuff for champions?
Unfortunately, I would say yeah. I would. I mean, that was an absolute shit game. No, seriously, like that was a shit game. But there's something to be said for winning. Win. I predicted this game to a T. I said it's going to be a 1-0 game. It's going to be boring. I didn't think it would be that boring. But honestly, it's been pretty much the exact same type of game we've seen from Wolves over the past 2 years. Nothing new, but the fact that we won this game in that fashion, considering how poorly we played, it's a good sign. I mean, obviously we need to play better than that. That can't be the standard at all, or you're not going to win a title, obviously, but it's paramount that you win those type of games, that maybe you don't necessarily deserve, but you fought through it and you got the dub. So, hey, I'm just glad we got 3 points. Any way possible, we got 3 points out of that game, and that's all you can ask for at the end of the day.
Yep, as Timmy says, 3 points are the most important thing. Have your say in the comments. What did you make of the performance? Did United even deserve the 3 points? I'd probably say no, but hey, 3 points are 3 points. We finished the year in second place. We're guaranteed to finish there now. We are now currently 2 points off the top. We still have a game in hand. Liverpool can obviously go and make that 5 points after their game. But Mark, is there a positive to take out of that? Like Timmy says, it is a kind of game that maybe a couple of years ago we don't go and win, and we've somehow managed it. I know it's from a deflection, but there is a positive there, right?
I think the only positive for me are the 3 points. It was very disappointing, and I think it worries me. Our next 3 games are at home. At home, as we all know, we're not particularly good. And if teams come and sit back like they did, like Wolves did tonight against us, we're going to have serious problems. We don't have a plan B. We can only play a counter-attacking football. To a certain extent, I know we've had it a bit more, a bit more attacking football more recently, but yeah, I don't even know how you fix that really, because we were talking last year when Bruno come in. And him working with Pogba, that we'd have enough creativity going forward. For some reason, that's not quite where we are at the moment. Disappointing, really. I'm thoroughly pleased we got the 3 points. Very happy about that. And I do take what Timmy says. Sometimes you do have to be scrappy. Sometimes the better teams do grind out a result. But for me, I feel like if we come up against someone like Liverpool or Man City, if they start to hit another gear, we're going to really, really struggle. And that's a big concern for me.
Yeah, comments let us know whether you agree with Mark. Do you think that we need to, formulate a plan B? Maybe find another way to break these teams down. I will get into that because I did have something to say. But first, we're going to go to the comments. Jacob thinks we deserved that win. I can't say I agree with you completely. But, yeah, Ashley's spot on. Nothing better than a last-minute winner. I woke the kids up, though. I feel sorry for you having to put them back to bed. Good luck with that. Mohammed says, wasn't a great performance, but we kept going until the end. That's an important thing. Like I said, a couple of years ago, we probably don't win that game. Probably ends 0-0. Temi, lottery numbers for tomorrow, please. You called every aspect of that game, including the 1-0. Do you have the lottery numbers for tomorrow?
I wish. I did not gamble on this game. It would have been 1-0 the other way if I did. So
fair play. We've also got an Irish fraud joining us, Josie.
Hey, Joe, I'm back, baby.
Joe, do you have any positive to take out of that?
The result. Look, that's kind of it. I was very, very pissed off. If you want to look at it the way We kept fighting, we kept playing, and then we got the result at the end. That's all I can really take from it. There was I don't think there was any exceptionally bad performances, but there was no one who was exceptionally good. There was a lot of frustration, but I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that it is Christmas time, and we're playing so many games, so quick and fast. I would have been very frustrated considering how Wolves set up and how Wolves played if we didn't win tonight, which would look like we weren't going to go that way. But because we had a day more rest than them. But like we needed that win. We got the win. That's for me all that matters, because I think we've shown over the last couple of weeks that we are getting there and we're getting better and we're winning games. So for the fact that we have to win this one ugly and the fact that we won at home ugly, we just won it all at home. For me, I'm fine with that at the moment. I'm fine being second place going into the new year, no matter what way it turns out.
I've just seen a fantastic comment from Kaleem. Are you watching Man United back? We are coming. I love it. Kaleem, first of all, what are you doing on Facebook, my mate? Head over to youtube.com/AllForUnited. Come join us on YouTube and make sure you like the video as well, because we have a wonderful target of 20 likes. And honestly, guys, if you keep liking these videos, you'll have seen the tweet Ben put out earlier. There's loads of opportunities for you guys to win some awesome stuff over the next couple of months. Well, over the month or so. So make sure to get liking these videos, because that's going to be the most important part of winning those things. So get in the habit of liking videos. And speaking of getting in the habit, we're getting in the habit of winning games, Temi. That's a fantastic segue. I'm quite happy with that one. We're getting in the habit of winning games. I've seen a comment here. I can't find it. There we go. There it is. Green Devil. Hopefully a win like that will amalgamate us a bit. Do you reckon winning this kind of game will do us a sort of benefit in terms of the mental aspect, because we've gone through this kind of game and actually won it, rather than, because as Mark said, if we finish this 0-0, it's a completely different kind of outset. So surely winning a kind of game like this, it does benefit us a little bit.
I would agree with that, but I think there's been many times before when this has happened, and we think, oh, okay, you know, we've been in this position, we managed to get a lucky goal at the end, we grind out a result. Maybe next week this can give us confidence, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Listen, I don't want to be Mr. Negative, but I just feel it papers over the cracks for me tonight. And we really need to start playing better. We need to have a different plan, a plan B. We need to play fluid football. You can hear, even obviously the commentator said it as well, you can hear the bench screaming at them to play a quicker passing, quicker tempo, and for whatever reason they're not listening to that. Now they need to do that. They need to do what they're being asked. We can all see it. The sidelines could see it, but they didn't want to act on that, and that's not a major problem, but you would expect for them to be able to react. And for me, like I said, I'm very happy with the 3 points. But that's it for me. And as I said, Wolves aren't any mugs. They're a good team. They seem to be picking up a little bit more form. So it is in hindsight a great result. There probably was more opportunities for us to get a couple more goals. The Bruno one in the first half, and a couple others. We were better in the second half again, but we need to start better than this. The only 2 games that we started very well was when they are attacking teams, and there's a lot more space. As I've said to you, you're probably bored of hearing this, Temi, because I've said this to you twice now, but between the defence and the midfield, there's more space for everybody to operate, and it means that we can run the channels a little bit better. But when we come up against a team like tonight, where they sit back, they know our home form is shite, it's no good for us. We can't react in the way that we need to, and it's bad. Just very quickly, I did see someone in the comments saying McTominay and Fred the best partnership going forward. Now I've got a couple of stats for you to say that they are not the best. The best 2 are actually Pogba and Matic, with a win percentage of 70% on 10 games, 2.3 points per match. The 4th best double pivot is McTominay and Fred, with only a win percentage of 47.06% and 1.76 points per game. So hopefully that will stop that argument.
Temi, I did, want to ask you as well, alluding to what Mark said before. Do you think it's just this game, or do you think it can have an effect, like a knock-on effect, or do you reckon? Are you in the same boat as Mark, as we've seen it before? Do you really think it's going to happen again? I think you're muted, Temi.
Yep, my bad. My bad. I don't necessarily think it's going to have a knock-on effect. I would agree with Mark there. But that being said, I think that this is just it's a really important 3 points. Like I don't know how else to put it. And I agree with Mark, but honestly, I feel like I'm not frustrated because I knew what was good. Like I really believe this is the result that was going to happen. Like I always thought this was going to be a boring game. If we've played Wolves. This is now 8 times since they've been promoted. We have never scored more than one goal against Wolves. I mean, that's just how these games are. So sometimes you have a team who kind of stifles your manager, and I think Nuno always stifles Ali. He does a good job at it. So got to just roll with the punches sometimes. Stay in the game. That's what's crucial. And now we have a game against Villa. I think Villa's going to try and play football against us because they play football against everybody. They tried to play football against Chelsea the other night, and that's going to play to our favor. So, it all depends on how the opposition chooses to match up against us. That's just a fact. If they're going to sit back, this is what we're going to see more often than not. If they try to play football against us, we're going to look pretty decent. So we just got to accept that's where we are with this manager, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So the fact that we won this game, you just got to kind of bite your teeth and fake smile and move on because we're in second place now, and that's all I wanted.
Fair play. That's all you wanted. It is a results game after all. Back into the comments before we go to Joe for more of his views. Brown Knights loving it, and Rashford has won it. Yes, of course. That was the comment that Mark was alluding to before. We've discussed that. Mark has stats to back it up. Fred and McTominay apparently not the better pairing. Jacob thinks Bailly and Matic were top. I would have to sort of disagree a little bit with the Matic
they
one.
probably are two best players, really. I think Bailly was quite good today.
The Bailly was good. No, yeah, I did. And I'm wondering when we get the Bailly injury because it's now been 3 games in about 6 days. So I'm wondering when Bailly collapses. And here comes the weekly XG XG comment. XG was 1.48 and Wolves 0.41. So that doesn't say anything other than yes, we got the goal we deserved. Simple. Doesn't mean we played better. It just means Wolves had opportunities that were not as good as ours. That's all that means. It doesn't actually mean that we deserve to win because I don't think we did. I don't think we did enough to win. Pogba was atrocious tonight. I'm not sure I agree with that. Joe, what do you reckon?
I didn't think Pogba played exceptionally well. He definitely didn't look like a 90 million euro player, pound player this evening. But like he had a couple of good balls, made a couple of good interceptions, and was alert for the entire game. Just about there was no massive mistakes. It definitely wasn't his best game, but it definitely wasn't his worst game. You know, you guys go to do the rating system afterwards, but I have to put him that he didn't do enough for me to make me scream for him to be playing the next game, but he hasn't been playing that much recently, and I suppose players just lose a bit of form when that happens. So I can't say he was atrocious, but he definitely didn't light my world up.
Fair enough. Mark, you seem to agree that Pogba did all right. How did you see it?
Yeah, I think he's probably been our most, other than Bruno, of course, most consistent midfielder in the last few games. I think he was quite bright. He played a bit more simpler today, and I've said many times before, when he plays the simple passes, he seems to get on much better. He had a good shot. I thought he was one of our better players today. I think he was okay. I agree with the fact that in the first half he was a little bit non-existent, but I think everybody was, and I think that if we had any opportunities, he was probably one of the catalysts of that. In the second half, he looked better. I don't think it was poor. He certainly wasn't atrocious. Certainly wasn't.
Fair enough. I've got another comment here that wants to know about Maguire, and who better to ask than the president of his fan club himself. Where is that T-shirt, by the way, Joseph?
It's coming. It's coming. Okay, we're living in COVID time.
Right. Tell me, what did you think of Maguire today? Ashley obviously thinks that he showed a decent range of passing, solid, and clearly did all right against Traore. What did you make of his performance?
He was fine, just like I thought everybody else was in that back line was fine. I think he had a million miles of space on the ball. They didn't pressure him in the slightest today. So if he couldn't pick out a pass today, then you're never going to be able to pick out a pass ever. The Wolves and Nuno literally sat back 90%. The only time I ever saw them apply pressure is when they went to AWB side, and obviously people know apply pressure on him, he might make a mistake. Other than that, they never ever looked like they wanted to press us for 1 second. So yeah, he was okay today. Just like Baye, I thought he was okay today. I thought Luke Shaw and Tellez were okay today. There was nobody who did anything that makes you think, oh my goodness, they have to start next week. But yeah, fine performance from Maguire. I think he's been fine pretty much all year. He's had a pretty good season.
Fair enough. On the topic of Luke Shaw, I have to agree. He did play quite well today, and you said there's not any players that you'd scream, oh, he has to start next game. I unfortunately would say Luke Shaw does.
What?
Because
God,
honestly, I can't say anything else because he has played very well. And look, it's not like I don't want Luke Shaw to play well. I just thought Alex Tellez would be a better fit. But right now, fair play to him. Luke Shaw's playing much better. And the first thing he did when he came on at halftime was make a forward run. And I was like, hello.
Yeah, he's stepped up a little bit. And that's exactly, we've spoken about this so many times. I think it's the competition that's really pushed him.
Exactly.
And he has been very good the last few games. One thing I'll say about Maguire, I absolutely agree with you, Timmy. I think he's actually been relatively good this season. Has been getting a lot of stick, which I think is undeserved. But I think something that's really shone through for me the last couple of games is he is very, very slow. And there was a couple of times today where trying to catch up with the defender or whatever that might have been, he is very slow. And I think that it was great to have Baye in tonight in order to get back and actually make those covers.
Yeah, very good point. He is quite slow. Baye, of course, is not, and he looked good today. I don't think that's a coincidence. Right now, my numbers here are 24 watching. If all of you like the video, we've smashed the target already. So go and do that right now. I see some of you are still watching on Facebook, so head over to youtube.com/AllForUnited. Come and join us over there. We're about to talk about Paul Pogba because there's another comment here, and I have to disagree with it because Fred says here Pogba played way too deep and he was wasteful. Right, I need to have a conversation about this because Pogba was not the one that was too deep. It was Nemanja Matic. In the entirety of the first half, he spent it sat next to our centre-backs. And I'm thinking, why does he need to do that? If we're out of possession, I understand. Tuck in, let's make it compact, let's not get them through. We need the backup, we need someone to cover for Maguire maybe. Okay, fantastic. When we're in possession, why is Matic sitting next to Harry Maguire? There's absolutely no need. Let's get up the pitch. It felt like we had no midfield. It was Pogba that was doing everything in the first half. Maybe that's why it looked like he was making wrong decisions because he's having to make them all himself. And I tweeted it in the second half, but what annoys me so much about us when we're playing against a low block, and for some of the game it wasn't even a low block, it was a mid block. We stand still. Why are we not moving off the ball? When someone like a Matic is on the ball, when someone like a Pogba is on the ball, why is Matic stood 5 yards next to him? Why isn't he moving? Why isn't he shifting? Make an unselfish run. I've said this before. I feel like sometimes our players are too scared of making a mistake sometimes because of whether it's the manager who'll give them criticism or whether it's social media. They're afraid to do something different. For the sake of keeping shape, they're not making an unselfish run. Make that unselfish movement off the ball where you might not get the ball, but it shifts some space, it shifts a defender, and we break a line. It just annoys me so much, and I have to completely disagree because I thought Pogba played very well today. And I think, we'll talk about it in our player rating show that comes straight after this. I thought he was one of our better performers, but that's just my rant for the day. We'll see what else is going on. Green Devils in again. It was the kind of performance that puts pressure on Ollie when things go bad. Because Mark is right. We showed very little all game of how we wanted to play and do. We won because we had more quality. I'm not sure that's why.
Thank you, the Green Devil. I'll give you that tenner later, mate.
Stuart, no, not man of the match. That's not what I said, but one of the better players. I'll ask Joe this question. What do you think we found so difficult about Wolves today? Because they were without a key player in Jimenez, obviously. Yeah. They have had injuries this season. Who do you think performed well? Because in my opinion, it was their two wing backs that played very well for them, and as well as their centre half. But what do you think we found so difficult about playing them today?
But it's not even just today. It's every time we play them. We just can't, like Tammy said earlier on, we can't score against them. That's the thing. We've beaten them once and they've been taken over by the Portuguese overlords. So so we have it's been constantly. This is the second time we've beaten them. So this is why for me, I think this result means more than a lot of other results we've had because we're actually beating teams that we generally don't beat. But I just think that they're so well set up. They're so compact and they're so difficult to break down. They don't tend to get hammered. I know they were beaten quite spectacularly a couple of weeks ago. That's once in a blue moon. I just think it's a case of they know how to defend and they know how to play out from the back and they know what sort of football they're playing. Everyone knows this, the side they're playing into. So I think that's just sort of it. They're kind of a bogey team. So the fact that we came out, even though it was at home, it was the 93rd minute, the fact we came out a victory is huge for us. And I'm hoping it'll really kick us on. I'm hoping it'll shake the cobwebs off for a couple of the players and get a couple of good results for us in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, fair play. Definitely, I would agree in that they might be a bogey club because we've played them that many times. That kind of trend's about to form. Mark, we spoke off air about what Wolves did well. I know you're itching to speak about one player in particular. Who do you think stood out for them?
I missed what you cracked up for me. What did you say? What did we speak about?
Yeah, I said your standout player for Wolves because I know you wanted to speak about someone in particular.
Yeah, Sois. He was an absolute monster. And it was unfortunate because it made me chuckle a little bit. Alan Shearer gave him man of the match and sounded very proud of himself for doing that. And then he was the one that obviously deflected the goal. So it was unfortunate in the end, but he was, I thought he was an absolute machine. And he really, he was very good, completely made their defence stalwart, quite honestly. Until the very end, unfortunately, I thought he was very good positionally aware, very strong, and certainly a player to watch out for, I think, going forward.
Yep, definitely. Tammy, I mean, we don't want to go into player ratings too much, but in terms of what we did, is there anyone that can come out of that game and go, you know what, I had a good game today? And do you think they affected us winning in any way? Now, I know the goal didn't come from any sort of passage of play, didn't come from anything, but we had a few good moments, so there must be someone who you can say they had a good game.
Up front, I definitely don't think any of our forwards left anything to be desired. I don't think that our midfielders were necessarily that progressive. I thought Pogba played pretty decently. I thought Luke Shaw, when he came on, played pretty well. I didn't think Tony, when he came on, did all that much. To answer your question, no. Honestly, this was Mark said it already. This was a very, very uninspiring game, but we won it. We won an uninspiring game. So maybe that's a little preview for the player rating show. Maybe not that many high scores, but tune in and see what I think about that later on.
Basically, what he's saying is, if you don't watch, he's going to hold your families hostage.
He's done it before.
Tammy's a gangster, so
Sounded very passive aggressive, didn't it?
Don't mess with him. Don't mess with him. Yeah, no, but Tammy's telling the truth. We are doing a live player rating show straight after this, so don't go anywhere. All 25 of you that are watching, or even more, invite your friends and family. Why not? Come and join us over there. And if you're watching right now, as Brown Knight says, we're 7 likes away. Come on, go hit the like button. Go on, do it now. Do it now. And I promise I'll ask Joe another question about Ireland. I promise.
I literally just liked it myself. There, you're welcome. You're welcome. Right.
The lengths we're going to. Joe's liking videos now. Joe, any final thoughts from you? And if we had to pick one, a man of the match?
Look, the final thought, the same thing I said when I came in. Wolves are a tough team for us to beat. We've beaten them twice since they've, like I said, been taken over. So this is a big win for us. It's a really good win, and hopefully it spurs us on. We didn't play very well, but as we have said numerous times, we don't have to play well, winning every game to win the championship. But all the most important thing is just to get the victory at the end of the day. So just for that, I'm just delighted to get the 3 points, and the fact that no one's injured, and for the fact that we beat Wolves. But my man of the match, I would say, I'm going to get the bye. I was a big fan of De Gea today. I know he saved us a few times, but I don't think any save he made was so outlandishly amazing that you could class it with world class. I just think he played within his talents, which is great. Kept a clean sheet for us, but I think by especially playing the last few games in a row and stuff like that, yeah, he's getting my man of the match for definite.
Fair play. Mark, over to you. Any thoughts?
Yeah, just echoing what everyone else has said and what I said originally. I think, yeah, it's great to get the 3 points. Wonderful to sit in second. We've got a lot more to do. I think it's actually a huge positive that we're not even out of second or third or even first gear. So if we are grinding out results and we are where we are now, that's only a positive for me, and hopefully we can really kick on. But as we've seen with Man United, perhaps not. We'll see. Yeah, to be honest, I can't really pick out any standout for me. I think it has to go to either Bailly or David De Gea. I thought that Bailly was solid, really complemented Harry's weaknesses, as I've already mentioned, running. And David De Gea, actually, I think he probably did a little bit better than what you've given him credit for, Joe. I thought a couple of the saves were very good. He's come under a lot of criticism in the last few years, and as I always say, we need to give them praise when they deserve it. And I thought he was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
either one of those.
100% agree. David, I don't know how you can join the call, but I heard if you go to youtube.com/AllForUnited and like the video, you might be able to join. I heard. It's just a rumor. Try it. Try and tell me. Try and tell me what happens. Right? Yeah. Tell me, without revealing too much about your player ratings, give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, very, very excited for the 3 points. Obviously, very underwhelmed by the performance. Not the best performance we've had, but that being said, we might look back at these 3 points and say it might be one of the most important 3 points of the season. Getting a result when we didn't deserve it against not necessarily against the run of play, but when you really probably just deserved a draw is really, really positive to see. We're winning cagey games. 1-0 against West Brom. We're not losing to Chelsea 0-0, not losing to City 0-0. These are games we would have lost last year comfortably. So it shows progress in a weird way. But I'm happy with the result. Everyone tuned into the player rating show in a very short amount of time.
Love it, Timmy. We're about to close off the show, so everyone who's watching, make sure to like the video. Brown Knight, I'm not a liar, so let me spit some facts for you. I'll say for the very end. Right, no, my final thoughts on the game. I mean, everyone said it, really. I personally don't think Wolves came here to win the game. I thought they set up for a draw. I don't think they were confident with the injuries that they had, and against probably an informed United team, they were a bit more cautious than we usually give them credit for. I thought they were very solid in defence. I mean, we spoke about Roman Saiz. He played a fantastic game. I thought their wing-backs were very good as well, kept our forward players quiet. And in the end, we had to scrape through it. Now, whether you like it or not, whether it's the prettiest win or not, it's a win. And you don't complain about wins. If you win every game like that, and you win the league, are you going to be complaining? I don't think so. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's another win. We can improve, and we know we can play better than this. So there's no need to get worried about it, I don't think. If we don't improve, then of course there is a conversation to be had. Now, January's along the way. Who knows what that brings in terms of transfers? I'm sure All for United will cover you with everything that goes on. But that's the end of 2020. And it feels like a bit of a flat way to end it, if I'm honest. But we're ending it second place. Now, going by our form over the year, we deserve to be finishing the year as the second best team in the country. Fact. Our form says that. Whether you think we should be playing tippy-tappy football like Pep, whether you think we should be pressing teams from the front like Klopp, doesn't matter. We've won the most games, second most games, and we deserve to be here. So 3 more points. We're now second in the league. We're now not 5 points off the top, because Newcastle could do us a favour and win. So you never know. We could end the year 2 points off the top with a game in hand. Does that sound like? What does that sound like, Joe? It sounds like.
I don't.
Say it. Mark, don't get in
do
it. Mark, don't ruin it.
It sounds like a title charge. I'll see you in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to win the league.
We're going to win the fucking league.